Alright, we have maybe exactly 10 minutes before the baby wakes up. These books have already fallen over and started him, so we may not even have that. But anyway. Hello friends, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are doing my priority summer TBR. These are books that I want to prioritize this summer along with my 26 and 2026. Some of these are like some of the oldest books that I have on my TBR. Some of these are summer reads. We just have a little variety. And looking at my shelves, there's so many more that I wish I could put on here, but only so many will fit on my cart. So without further ado, we're just going to get into it and start. I don't know, you can't see the cart, but it's right here. We're just going to start filling it up. First of all, we're going to start with my book of the month picks for May. And that is The Shippers by Catherine Center and Our Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune. Both of these are like friends to lovers, I believe. And The Shippers is they become each other's wing people on a cruise ship, I believe. And this one, she comes back home. Oh no, and this one, it's the eve of Frankie's wedding. And I think she gets left at the altar and asks her friend George to come on the honeymoon with her. And I think they, you know, fall in love or something. I don't know. But we're going to put these on the TBR. And then a book that I got, I think last year or the year before last. I don't know when this came out. 2024, so 2 years ago. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. It's about time that I read this. A book that I got specifically for summer back in August, and that is Summer in the City by Alex Astor. I have no idea what this is about. I think she's like a screenplay writer and she comes to the city or something and says billionaire bachelor, so we're gonna have a billionaire romance. So I'm really excited to see how I like this one. I want to try and get all of the hardcovers on the top tier because you know how hard it is to get them out of the cart. Another one from 2 years ago, we have The Paradise Problem by Christina Lauren. I think this is a fake marriage in order to get inheritance. So I love fake dating, fake marriage. So I'm really excited to see how I like this one. And then we have Friends by Frederick Bachman. Does this cover not scream summer? They're swimming. I mean, it literally screams summer. I read Anxious People by him and loved it. So I'm really excited to see how I enjoy this one. I don't know. I'm not really one for literary fiction. Like I have to have some kind of romance in my story. But for some reason, I just love his books, or book that I read. So we're gonna hopefully get this summer. So My Friends by Frederick Bachman. We have 2 more hardcovers and then we will get to the paperbacks. So because I want to get to The Things Gods Break this summer, the 3rd and final book in this trilogy comes out in the fall. I need to finish my reread of The Games Gods Play. I got about 40% of the way through and then put it back down. So I need to pick it back up, finish my reread so that I can go into this and be ready for book 3 when it comes out in the fall. If you don't know what this is about, this is kind of Greek mythology meets Hunger Games. There's romance in it. I really liked it. And so I'm excited to see how the second book goes. Alright, now we're ready for some paperbacks. We have Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. I think this has been on my TBR for 2 or 3 years now. And this will be my first Annabelle Monaghan book. I first heard of this author from Destiny Sidwell, and of course Carly Fortune blurbed it on the front and said loved it, brims with heart, wit, and longing. And so I love Carly Fortune, so I'm hoping that I will love this too. This is a book that I believe I bought last summer. I got Not Safe for Work by Nisha J. Chuli. I read her fantasy series last year, or I finished her fantasy series last year. I forget what it's called. But this is a workplace romance and it's a leadership retreat to Hawaii. So this just screams summer. And I really liked her fantasy, so I'm really excited to see if I like her romance. Next up, we have Megan Quinn's book that came out this year, and that is Just for the Cameras. I believe this is a fake dating. Yep, they're faking it for the cameras, but what if the sparks are real? He's a defensive end for a famous football team. And I believe she's like a zookeeper or something. Yeah, she's a zookeeper. And they're going to be fake dating for the camera. So I'm really excited to see how I like this one. I love Megan Quinn. I don't think I've given any of her books lower than 4 stars. I'm really excited for that one. Alright, the second Megan Quinn book that just came out like a week ago is Rules for the Summer by Megan Quinn. I believe she is trying to renovate her shop, her candy shop. And he is, I don't know what he is, but I think he's like next door. They're neighbors. Forced proximity. So I'm really excited to see about this one. Her summer romance that came out last year, I really enjoyed that. I'm really hoping she comes out with another one in that series because that was so fun. Till Summer Do Us Part. So I really hope she comes out with another one like that. So I'm really excited to get to this one. Here is a hardcover I forgot to put on top. Oh well, we'll just do some adjusting. A fantasy book that I'm excited to get to, the next one comes out in November, is Warrior Princess Assassin. This is a Why Choose, I believe. And you know how I love my Why Choose, because why should you choose when you can just have all of them? So this one is about a warrior who has fire magic, a princess who is enemies. With enemies advancing on Stranger, Prince Jory's home needs the protection of the Warrior King, but she is hiding a dangerous secret. An assassin, I think, that is out to kill one of them. And they end up falling for each other, I believe. So I'm really excited to see how this one goes. Going with the theme here, we have One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I got this one last year and never got to it. So I really want to get to it this summer. But like I said, I love Carly Fortune. There was only one of her books that I didn't like, and that was, I think, Every Summer After. But I'm really excited to get to this one. Man, this cover is beat up. But it's okay because I always end up annotating anyway, so I'm really excited to read this. We have us a cowboy romance. I have this whole series and have yet to jump in, so I figured it's time. So I'm hoping to get to Cash by Jessica Peterson. I believe that our female main character's estranged father dies and he leaves his cattle ranch to her, and she goes there and meets Cash Rivers, the ranch's grumpy foreman. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. All right, next up we have a nice comfy romance, and that is Wild at Heart. I read Into the Wild, I believe last year or the year before. Really enjoyed it, and so I'm excited to see how this couple's story ends. So in the first one, our female main character's father is dying, and she has not seen him in forever. She thinks that he abandoned them, didn't want them to, you know, all this because of stories that her mother told her. And so she gets told, you know, you will always regret it if you don't go back and see him before he dies. So she goes to Alaska, and she goes to help take care of him and be with him in his final days. She ends up falling for the neighbor, I believe. And yeah, I'm really excited to see like how their love story wraps up, because in this one, the way the first one ended, in this one I believe, I don't know how much time has passed in between the end of the first one and the beginning of this one, so I'm really excited to see what happens. All right, next up, it's got some nice character art. Okay, so this is from last year, 2025. So we have Beautiful Venom by Rena Kent. This is her hockey romance series. I read the Legacy of God series by her and I really enjoyed it. So I'm excited to see how I like her hockey romance. And I do want to do the audiobook and immersive reading this because it is due narration. So I'm really excited to get to this. Next up, we have another fantasy series, and that is The Wolf King by Lauren Palfreeman. The third and final book of this trilogy is coming out in the fall. I have the first and second one. So I'm really excited to get to it and see how I like it. I know that I would probably end up, once I've started, I would probably binge the first 2 books and then be yearning for the third one until it gets here. So I'm really excited to see how I like this one. I know that there's a love triangle in this, and Princess Aurora longs to escape her castle and marriage that has been arranged. And then at a dogfight where captured werewolves are made to fight for sport, she spares the life of a young wolf. I love me like shifterverse, omegaverse, werewolf romance. Always have. Next up, we have Cross by Emily McIntyre. I have flew through the first few books in the series, and I still have the last 2 to get to. So we're going to put Crossed on there, and hopefully we can get to it. 3 years. I've had this book 3 years. So I'm excited to get to this and see how it is. I think this is a Hunchback of Notre Dame retelling, and then I have her Little Mermaid one. So I'm really excited to get to this because Little Mermaid was one of my favorite Disney shows or Disney movies growing up. So I'm really excited to get to that one. And I know you don't have to read them in order, but I like to. So we're going to get to Crossed first. Next up, we have Play Along by Liz Tomford. I have Play Along and Rewind It Back wherever it is. And I really want to finish this series before I jump into the In Her Own League series, so I'm really excited to get to this. So we're gonna do Play Along. This is a baseball romance, and this is between Isaiah, which is the brother of Kai, which is I think his name is Kai in the second one, and the sports rehab person on the team. And this is a accidental wedding in Vegas, right up my alley. Next up, we have a thriller because I've had this one forever and I really need to get to it. 2025. So this is one that I got at Barnes & Noble last year. This is one of their like book of the month picks, their monthly pick. But this is a girl who does a podcast, and people come on there and tell them their deepest, darkest secrets. It could be anything from, you know, I stole gum when I was little to I killed somebody, and she will never reveal their identity and never turn them in until one day this person comes in and says, I killed your mom, but the only thing is her mother's murderer is dead because she killed him. So I'm really excited to see how this one goes. And next up we have a Jennifer Hartman. This one, I don't know, the cover just screams summer to me because she's swimming. Go figure. This is Older by Jennifer Hartman. This is a best friend's dad romance. So I'm excited to see how this goes. I love me a good age gap, so I'm excited to see how I like this one. Some age gaps kind of creep me out, but it just, like, I liked Birthday Girl, so hopefully this is like Birthday Girl. All right, next up, because the second one just came out, and like if you've been on my channel very long, you know that I don't like to jump into a series unless I have at least the sequel so that I can read the first few chapters, because I hate cliffhangers, I hate waiting. Firebound by Sable Sorensen. The second one just came out, so when I finish this, if it ends on such a terrible cliffhanger, I can read the first few chapters of the second one so that it will make me I still have pregnancy brain, y'all. So that it will make me content to wait for the next one. So I'm really excited to read this. I heard it's kind of like Fourth Wing, but with wolves, and Fourth Wing is my all-time favorite series, so I'm really excited. All right, we actually may have room to add more. I'm excited. All right, because I have book 4 on my May TBR, I'm gonna put book 5 on my summer TBR, and that is Frozen by Stardust, because book 6 comes out in July and book 7 comes out in October, and that will wrap the series up. So this series will be finishing this year, so I'm really excited to see what happens. I am still in the process of rereading book 3 so that I can get to book 4 in May. I have been doing a book in between just because sometimes I can kind of get burnt out by a series, but I'm really excited to see how this ends. If you don't know, the first book is a Beauty and the Beast retelling, and then the rest of the series kind of takes off on its own plot. This is about our main character, Rosalina, and just like in, well, not just like in Beauty and the Beast, but in this one, her mom has gone missing, and her dad has dedicated his life to going and looking for her because he believes the fairies have stolen her. And we follow her story from there. And in the first book, her dad manages to fall upon the Fae realm. He gets taken captive, like in Beauty and the Beast. She comes, trades herself for him, and we follow the story from there. It is a YQs. But you know, I love my YQs, so I'm really excited to see how this goes. I've been so scared to pick up book 4 because I had seen people crying, so I wanted to wait until I had, like, again, I wanted to wait until I had at least the next one out. So we're gonna put book 5 on there. And I love these covers, they are so beautiful. And this one, she's wearing a wedding dress, so I'm excited to see what the wedding dress means. I just realized that some of these books are gonna be in my May book haul, and so I'm gonna have to go back and take them off. I think I remember what ones they were. At least I'm hoping I do. Next up, we have a reread, and that is Exodus by Kate Stewart. This is one of my favorite series. Book 2 completely destroyed me, so that's why I've been kind of hesitating to get into it. Even though I know how the story ends and I know what's gonna happen, it's probably gonna just destroy me all over again. But I read the indie copies back in 2019. So I am slowly wanting to reread the traditionally published and annotate them. I read Flock like last year or the year before, reread it and annotated it, so now I want to get to this one. And I'm not going to tell you about the Ravenhood series because I'm going to tell you like I was told when I went into it, go into it blind. Because the blurb really doesn't tell you much unless they changed it. I never read it again. But the blurb on the indie publish really doesn't tell you much. You just have to go into it. And I really enjoyed it. Next up, we have some Elle Kennedy book. I want to read book 2 in the Briar U series, The Risk. I've completed the off-campus series and I read the first one in the Briar U, so I really want to finish this because I am kind of jumping into the second gen series, even though some of the stuff like it's going to go over my head because I haven't read this series yet or completed this series yet, but that's okay. So we're gonna read The Risk. This is Jake Connolly. Oh my goodness, I finally, if you don't know, in The Graham Effect, there is a character that is friends with Garrett Graham named Jake Connolly. And the name was familiar, but I couldn't get, I guess it made appearances in the off-campus series, but I really couldn't put it together, so now I'm gonna be able to put it together. So this is Jake Connolly, and what is her name? Brenna. And I think she is the daughter of Briar U's hockey coach. And I think he is an enemy, a player at another school. All right, then we have Bad Girl Reputation by Elle Kennedy. I read the first one in this series so long ago. This is, I think this follows the twin brother of the main character in book 1. I remember nothing about what happened in book 1. But that's okay because interconnected standalones, you really don't have to remember. They should never get back together, but can they stay apart? So this is a second chance romance, and it's small town. I know it's got mixed reviews, and they're not really good mixed reviews, but I really enjoy book 1. And then the last book in this stack, which we have room so we can add more, which I'm really excited because there's a lot of books that I want to add, is The Dixon Rule by Elle Kennedy. This is the second book in the Campus Diary series. So this one is after The Graham Effect. Shane. I love Shane from book 1. Oh, I'm so excited. So this is Shane and Diana's story. Oh, I'm so excited. I told them I had a girlfriend. I start to laugh. This is the greatest day of my life. Oh, it gets better, Dixon. I told them it was you. So excited. All right, so we have room to add a few more. So I'm going to look at my shelves and I'll be right back. All right, I think I got what will fit. I am not sure if they will, but we'll go give it a try. All right, so I'm going to do Give Me More by Sarah Kate. This is the next book that I need to read in the Salacious Players Club series. These are really good palate cleansers. There's really no plot. It's just all spice. So I like to read these when I'm in between fantasies and you need no brain power. They're just a good time. And I believe this one is FMM. His friend Hunter and Hunter's wife Isabel, I believe they become a throuple, I believe. So, like I said, it's just a good old time. Then a book that has been on my shelf forever, 2 years. This was Ashley Poston's release from 2024, which is a novel love story. And this one is, I think she falls into her favorite romance book, I believe. Yes, she feels like she falls into the novel, but she's to help bring the town to its storybook ending, and I believe she falls in love with one of the characters. I'm really excited to read this. I really, really enjoyed the 7-year slip by her, and I read the Dead Romantics. I gave it like 3.5 stars, so I'm really excited to see how I enjoyed this one. Next up, we have Joey by Sadie Kincaid. I read Dante a month or 2 ago. I think I read it in March, but I'm really excited to jump into this one. It's a mafia romance. It's just a good old time. This is Brother's Best Friend, I believe, which is one of my favorite tropes. All right, maximum recording time was reached, so I had to start over. All right, because I just finished binge watching this series, we have My Life with the Walter Boys. I really enjoyed the series, I'm not gonna lie. So I'm really, really excited to see how this goes. So I'm really excited to read this, and then if I enjoy it, I will get the second one and read it. But yeah, My Life with the Walter Boys. The way season 2 ended on Netflix was criminal. They better be, that season 3 better be out soon. That's all I gotta say. And then finally, we have Between Two Kings, so that I can finish up this duet. There is a third book coming out in the series, but it is her mom's story. So depending on how I like this will depend on if I get her mom's story or not. But these books are just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I'm really excited to see how this ends, who she ends up with, if she ends up with both. I've seen mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people hate it. But also the first book, some people loved and some people hated. And I quite enjoyed it. So I'm really excited to see how this ends. And this is by Lindsay Straub. All right, that is our summer TBR. So we will still be doing monthly TBR videos. I will just be prioritizing books from this and my 26 and 2026. So we will be prioritizing these 2 stacks, and hopefully we can read it down. There are a lot of books on TBR that I want to get to like right now. Some of them I picked up and I was like, I'm going to add this to my summer TBR, but I was like, no, this screams more fall, you know. Maybe when I get into a mood reading time, we'll get to those. But these are going to be our priority. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Tell me down below, what is some books that you want to prioritize over the summer? Do you have any book recommendations for me that you'd like me to check out? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Join the bookish community. It would make my day. Be on the lookout for my next video. I have my entire physical TBR and a book on haul, because I was unhauling books as I was filming that. And then some of these books that you saw in this video will not be on the TBR video because they are new books that I hauled in the month of May. So I'm still trying to figure out if I want to do like a balancing the bookshelf or book haul video. But either way, at the end of the video, I will tell you what my new number of books on the TBR is. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.